The world was stunned. In every corner of the globe, people stopped what they were doing, eyes glued to screens, as the news broke. China to build second Panama Canal? Screamed headlines, echoing across continents and sparking heated debates in living rooms and parliaments alike. A $50 billion canal, 3 times longer than Panama's, was planned for Nicaragua, an audacious feat of engineering that would carve a new path through Central America. This wasn't just infrastructure. It was a geopolitical earthquake, shaking the foundations of global power and influence. The project promised to redraw global trade routes, potentially shifting the balance of maritime commerce and directly challenging U.S. dominance in the region. Backed by a mysterious Hong Kong company, it signaled China's bold move into America's backyard, raising eyebrows and suspicions worldwide. The canal's scale was staggering: 172 miles through dense jungle, fertile farmland, and the vast expanse of Lake Nicaragua, cutting a swath across the nation. It would require moving more earth than any project in history, with new ports, an international airport, and sprawling free trade zones transforming the landscape. For Nicaragua, it was a chance to leap from poverty to prosperity, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to change the fate of generations. But the risks were enormous. Tens of thousands faced displacement, indigenous lands and cultures stood threatened, and uncertainty loomed over entire communities. And Lake Nicaragua, Central America's largest freshwater source, was at risk, its delicate ecosystem hanging in the balance. Environmentalists warned of irreversible damage to ecosystems and endangered species, fearing the loss of biodiversity and natural heritage. The dream of prosperity for some looked like a nightmare for others, dividing the nation and sparking passionate debate. Was this a partnership for progress or a strategic play for control? The world's superpowers watched each other warily. The world watched, captivated and concerned, as the story unfolded in real time. Could this grand vision become reality, or would it end in catastrophe, leaving scars on the land and broken promises behind? The stakes were nothing less than the future of a nation and the balance of power in the Americas, with global consequences. The world held its breath, waiting for the next chapter in this unfolding drama. The true cost of this monumental project was yet to be revealed, and its legacy would echo for generations to come. To truly grasp Nicaragua's ambitions, you have to look south to Panama, a country whose canal has shaped the destiny of global trade for generations. For over a century, the Panama Canal has reigned as the king of global shipping, a marvel of engineering that forever changed the way goods move around the world. Built by the United States in 1914, the canal slashed thousands of miles off shipping routes, saving time and money, and even defined the Panamax standard for ships that could fit through its locks. Control of this vital waterway cemented U.S. influence in the region, making Panama a strategic crossroads for decades. But as global trade exploded, ships kept getting bigger, eventually outgrowing the canal's original locks and creating bottlenecks. Panama responded with a massive expansion in 2016, adding new, larger locks. Yet even these can't accommodate the very largest vessels now sailing the seas. Today, water shortages and the growing threat of climate change cast uncertainty over the canal's future, raising concerns for global shipping. Enter Nicaragua. A new, wider, deeper sea-level canal could handle any ship afloat, directly challenging Panama's long-standing monopoly on interoceanic trade. The idea was bold and ambitious, a direct challenge to a century of Panamanian dominance and a potential game-changer for the region. But could Nicaragua succeed where so many others had failed before? The obstacles were immense and the risks high. The world's shipping giants watched closely, knowing the stakes were truly global, and the outcome could reshape international trade routes. The dream of a Nicaraguan canal is centuries old. In 2013, President Ortega revived it, granting a 50-year concession to a little-known Hong Kong company, HKND, led by Chinese billionaire Wang Jing. In exchange for building and financing the canal, HKND would control it for half a century. The deal was rushed through with little debate, raising alarms in Washington. Was this a Chinese state project in disguise? For Nicaragua, it promised jobs, investment, and a leap out of poverty. For China, it was a bold move in the US's backyard. The canal became a symbol of shifting global power. The canal's design was staggering. 172 miles long, 3 times Panama's length, and deep enough for the world's largest ships. Unlike Panama's locks, this would be a continuous sea-level waterway, a man-made river across Nicaragua. The route cut through rainforests, wetlands, and the entire width of Lake Nicaragua. Engineering challenges were colossal, over 5 billion cubic meters of earth to move. The $50 billion price tag dwarfed Nicaragua's economy. Funding was murky. Wang Jing never revealed his backers. Beyond the canal, the plan included ports, an airport, railways, and free trade zones. The vision transformed Nicaragua into a global logistics hub. But skepticism grew. Was this even possible? The blueprint was grand, but reality loomed. The government sold the canal as a cure for poverty. Tens of thousands of jobs, doubled GDP, and a modernized nation. Business leaders and many citizens embraced the vision of prosperity. Critics, however, questioned the project's feasibility and transparency. Was there really enough demand for a second canal? Some suspected a land grab, not a genuine infrastructure project. Law 840, rushed through Parliament, gave HKND sweeping powers, land expropriation, tax exemptions, and near-total control. Critics called it a surrender of sovereignty. The canal's promise divided the nation. Hopes soared, but doubts deepened. The canal's route cut through Lake Nicaragua, the region's largest freshwater source and a unique ecosystem. Scientists warned that dredging would stir up toxic sediments, threaten rare species, and risk saltwater contamination. An oil spill or invasive species could devastate the lake and surrounding wetlands. The canal would also slice through rainforests and protected reserves, destroying habitats and increasing erosion. Up to 100,000 people, mostly farmers and indigenous communities, faced displacement. The law allowed forced expropriation, often with little compensation. For many, the canal was not progress, but a threat to their homes and way of life. The environmental and social costs were staggering. As the canal's reality set in, resistance surged. Farmers, fishermen, and indigenous leaders became activists, fighting for their land and future. Led by figures like Francisca Ramirez, they marched, protested, and demanded repeal of Law 840. The government responded with intimidation and crackdowns. Yet the movement grew, uniting environmentalists, indigenous groups, and rural communities. Their stories of lost land, threatened culture, and uncertain futures put a human face on the conflict. The canal became a battle for Nicaragua's soul. The cost was measured not just in dollars, but in lives and heritage. The resistance would not be silenced. The struggle defined a generation. In December 2014, the canal's groundbreaking was a media spectacle. But real construction never began, just a few upgraded dirt roads. Wang Jing's fortune collapsed in a Chinese stock crash, and HKND went silent. Promised billions vanished. The project stalled. The government insisted the canal was alive, but deadlines slipped and details faded. Communities along the route were trapped, unable to sell land or invest, living in limbo. By 2018, the canal was effectively dead. Political turmoil and violent crackdowns further scared off investors. The grand dream faded, leaving broken promises and a divided nation. The canal became a phantom, neither built nor forgotten. Its shadow lingered over Nicaragua. Today, the Nicaragua Grand Canal remains a ghost, its concessions still valid, its future uncertain. The once ambitious project, which promised to transform the nation, now stands as a silent reminder of what could have been. Supporters hope for revival, dreaming of prosperity and a new geopolitical order. They imagine jobs, investment, and a brighter future for generations to come, holding on to the belief that the canal could still change everything. Opponents see only scars, years of uncertainty, lost rights, and environmental risk. For them, the canal represents broken promises, displacement, and a threat to Nicaragua's fragile ecosystems. The most likely outcome? The canal as envisioned will never be built. The grand vision has faded, leaving behind unfinished dreams and abandoned machinery. But the legal framework remains, a tool for future land grabs or development. The laws and agreements still linger, shaping the fate of thousands of hectares. The project's true legacy may be the power it gave government and foreign partners over land and resources. Control has shifted, and the balance of power is forever altered. The fight for Nicaragua's future is far from over. Communities continue to organize, determined to protect their land and their rights. The canal's story is a cautionary tale of ambition, secrecy, and the high cost of dreams. It warns of the dangers when hope and power collide behind closed doors. The land, the people, and the question of who truly benefits, these battles endure. The struggle for justice and ownership continues, echoing across Nicaragua. The world still watches, wondering what comes next. The story of the canal is not yet finished, and its impact will be felt for years to come.